Just remember to mute yourself on the button.
No.
Okay, let's see. There we are. How's the sound? Okay. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another round of ADEC Season 2, Round 8, Tier 1, the 2023 finale for Season 2. Today we are at the beautiful Nürburgring GP in the monstrous Group 2 machines for the 90-minute Super Enduro. Let's go with the race brief for people catching up. And today we're gonna have a very thin grid. A number of racers will be missing tonight due to holidays or their participation in a one-off Ukraine Independence Day event. So that means no Cartman today either, and just Flappy, the Cartman's teammate Flapjack, as he tries to overturn his Taiji2 Motorsport teammate with the 52-point lead that Cartman has, and he's going to try and steal the championship from him. As Cartman isn't racing tonight, the mats are quite simple. When dropped, scores are taken into account. Flappy needs a win first and foremost. That would cut the gap at 48 points. So then he needs another 4 points, either by bagging the pole position or fastest lap to draw him level on points. If these two finish level on points, despite them having 4 wins each, the title would go to Flappy on the countback of lesser scores. So further down the field, the battle to finish in the top 9, which is the position to guarantee entry into the next DRHHL event in October, which is something else to watch out for. Going on the point scores now, we have Cartman with 576 points, his teammate behind him with 524 points. Juggernaut is participating in an ACC event today, so he will not be joining us. He has 424 points, and we have Blue Racer with 300 and Gadget with 252. So tonight's race being the season finale in this 90-minute Super Enduro, with it comes tweaked start times and the revised settings for tires, being 3 and fuel 1, versus the classic 5 and 2 for the 60 minutes. Pole position record here is 1 minute 44.4, and the fastest lap of the race is a 45.1, set by the mighty Dawson and the Honda NSX way back in 2020. But since that was back in the GT Sport days with racing super soft tires, those times don't really count in GT7. The pit stop time loss here is around 24-25 seconds, so it is quite a long pit stop, but yeah, we could see a medium soft mix tonight, most likely a 2-stop on soft. Fuel will almost last the race distance, so with a bit of fuel management, this could be achievable. So yeah, that is it for the race brief tonight, and now we're going to introduce our guest commentator for tonight. He is a legend and a former ADEC racer like myself. So please welcome Mr. and introduce yourself, man.
Okay, well, thank you. I am Jammy-D, formerly known as Jammy-D, or Jammy-73. Either one will do, but here I am co-commentating with my friend, my compadre, and my co-commentator, Kimaru75.
And yeah, good to have you back in the comms booth tonight, Jammy.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been a while since we did this together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of been over a year, I think, quite frankly. Too long. What are you doing leaving me out of the show? That's absolutely awful, and I'll never forgive you. But apart from that, it's been great here.
Well,
been great.
This season has been crazy because there's been maybe one time we've had an opening for co-commentator, but no one has been available, or I haven't been able to think of any. The 1 week where I was
no
sick,
one, basically, what he's trying to say, everyone, is no one was quite good enough until all of a sudden he thought of Jammy, and he went, you know what, Jammy will fill that space that no one else is willing to do. So here I am, everyone.
Lobby is open too, so I'm gonna head on in there. Yeah.
Okay, great
It's
stuff.
It's gonna be a lonely grid today.
A lonely grid. Lonely. Oh dear. Personally, I blame it on the Vikings, but there you go.
All right, Blue. And Blue has decided to step down from this race. Yeah, the tuning aspect of ADEC is a little, I would say, unfair for people that don't know how to tune. Yeah, it is a little bit willy wonky.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual, I must say.
But most of that reason was to before we had the possibility of bringing back the brake balance, which is now possible. That's kind of the reason for the tuning aspect of the series, which I quite frankly don't feel belongs in ADEC. But since we have the brake balance back, maybe the organizers should look at revising the rule set a little bit again and put it back to the old school ADEC.
Old school ADEC, that's something I miss, you know. Something I miss. Old school ADEC, you know, when you used to just race around, try to become, you know, the numero uno.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, with me personally, I can only speak for myself, that it didn't work that often. But you know what? I did try, and that's what counts.
Well, I did manage to get a couple of wins in Tier 2. I was close in Tier 1, but never got a bite out of the golden apple, so to speak, in Tier 1. So,
the golden apple, eh? The golden... You know, everybody wants a piece of the golden apple. Isn't that right? Well, okay. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Obviously, the apple all of a sudden isn't all that attractive. Oh dear. A golden apple is actually not golden, it's just copper. Oh dear. Suddenly, it's not so attractive. Oh dear.
So yeah, I think tonight as well, Flappy is probably gonna run away with it unless the monkeys in his little skyline decides to fling his steering wheel into Barrier.
Yeah, well, it could be an interesting race here, Kim, because well, 3 people so far in this race out of 6 are actually racing the Nismo GT500 2016. So that should be a very entertaining race. Needless to say, it will actually put the skill in the racer.
Absolutely, and Mark GT is very optimistic in that old style NSX. It is a temperamental beast, but let's see what Mark GT can do in the, what is it, 08 NSX?
Yeah, the NSX, I must admit, has always been a bit of a beast, but for a lot of people, I must admit, including myself, is actually very difficult to control, and this is why I don't really race with the NSX, although it's a bit of a beast if you can control it, but if you can't, leave it alone.
But the other thing to take into consideration here, as I said before, ADEC is now more or less a tuning series. You can put on a tune if you like to. That will, of course, make you faster and more competitive, but that could also help stabilize the NSX quite a bit. Because I remember in the RFS with the old style NSX, the tune I had on that was a very good one, and it stabilized the car and removed pretty much all of the oversteer and understeer that it had under
yes,
braking.
indeed, so. Yeah, absolutely, and it did have a lot of understeer, oversteer. It was just all over the place, quite frankly. And again, not a car that I particularly enjoyed. But hey, if people can harness those skills from deep down somewhere, maybe, just maybe, they'll come out on top.
Absolutely. And we have Muller, I think the only one in the new Audi RS Group 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He had a pretty good showing the last time. He was, I believe, in the top 6 on Dragon Trail Seaside. Top 4, top 6.
That's right. Yeah.
And,
yeah.
He did an amazing job in that Audi. So it's going to be interesting to see how this machine performs today around Nürburgring.
Oh yes. Well, let's face it. I mean, it is an absolute classic track. One that all the drivers of ADEC should know off by heart. So it really is no stranger of a track to any of the drivers. I'm sure even in GT Sport, which was the predecessor to this game, the GT7, obviously it was included within that game as well. So needless to say, there will be lots and lots of familiarity within the course of Nürburgring GP.
Absolutely. Just to take a personal experience for this track, I do love the GP circuit, but quite frankly, never been too good at it. It's been one of my weaknesses, but it's still a very, very fun track. I do enjoy Nürburgring GP. A lot of people hate the green hell, but that's also one of my absolute favorites.
Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. Well, unfortunately, like a lot, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with Nürburgring, Nordschleife. It's very in the middle for me. Mm-hmm. Do I love it? Do I hate it? A bit of both, really. It has its moments, but then again, you know, I've tried it over and over and over, and I still seem to get the same results. But needless to say, if people absolutely love a track, they're obviously going to do well. And if Flappy can pull it out of the bag like I think he's going to, and he's going to run away with it, he could be a top contender for this race.
Bottle,
Kim, over to you.
Bottle just typed a message in chat. Does he love Nordschleife? Yes. Is he good at it? No.
There you go. There you go.
I'll say this about Nordschleife. It is, like I said before, everyone that knows me, I love Nordschleife. It is my favorite track in the entire world. I could drive that track any day of the week. But kind of like Bottle, am I good at it? Not particularly, but I know how to stay on the black stuff. But sometimes I do end up into the elusive little barrier or do the lawnmower trick like Jason Haldir.
Yes. Oh, yes. On most corners, no doubt. It's like, get off the damn grass, Jason. Oh, what is he doing? But you know what? Jason's not in this race today, as far as I can tell.
No,
he certainly hasn't turned up. No,
he's not racing in ADEC currently.
Right, okay, Jason is not running today. So anyway, a lot of people will be somewhat pleased for that note, but nevertheless, it's still going to be a good race, Jason or no Jason. What, Mr. Holder, to you?
I was wrong. We have two Audis out on track, H-Boss and Muller.
Muller, yeah. I hold Muller in good stead. I mean, admittedly, he has been very good in the past. He does have his moments, but if Muller can pull it out of the bag, maybe, just maybe, he can actually get second here behind Flappy.
Well, Muller is those kind of one of those drivers that you never know really where you have him, but when he's on you, good luck getting rid of him. And Muller can just surprise you, and suddenly he's in the top three, and suddenly he takes a win. So don't ever count Muller out. He's had his moments. I will say this: he struggled a little bit in GT7 from what I've seen this year, but he definitely hasn't lost his touch. But it's very track dependent and car dependent, I would assume, for GT7 and Muller. So, like it is with a lot of people, very track and car dependent. So
yeah, it should do well. All of the 8 people, in fact, TCR H-Boss, I'm not really familiar with that guy.
H-Boss has been in ADEC now for a few seasons, and he was supposed to retire last time around because he got some real-life stuff to deal with that will take him away from racing for the rest of the year, but he has done very good so far this year, and he's been in the top 5s multiple times. So
really fantastic.
He does have a very good pace. So
really, right? Well, that certainly looks okay at the moment. Yes, he hasn't quite qualified just yet.
Well, they are
as has nobody. However, they are
laps.
on the out laps. I was just going to say thank you, Master Kim. Yes, they are on their out laps. So we will see very, very shortly on who is the top of the tree. Top dog, as you call it, eh?
Absolutely. So Flappy.
Will it be Flappy? Will it be Grim? Who knows?
Seems to be the first to start his flyer, so followed closely by Mr. Gadget himself. Flappy may be pushing it a little bit too hard. Pulling a little sideways through the chicane, but
I've never had anybody complain about that before, but but no, that's all very good. That's all very good.
I wonder
If
how
you can,
Senna
yeah,
will
go
do
on.
today, because he's in the only CLK out on track, the old style Le Mans car.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
Good on the straight, good in the acceleration points, but I think he might struggle a little bit with turns and corners today. Hello, Cartman. Tajitu Motorsport for the win. Well, if you were here, Cartman, you could challenge your teammate Flappy. But I'm thinking he's gonna crush it out there today. He needs the win, a fastest lap, and then he should take the win, the championship.
Yes, go Flappy,
huh? And he completely ruined his lap. So Flappy will have to restart his attempt. Of course, Cartman, you've been super fast this season. As we see Gadget now with a 151. We have Senna with...
Well, Senna takes a top lap here.
49.7. So...
wow. Very, very nice.
The old girl still has it in her. 54,
for sure.
5 for
That's
Graham.
no way to speak about Senna. Oh, the vehicle.
Yes.
Oh, right. You see, you got to make things clear, Kev.
Yeah.
Got to make things clear.
H-Boss with a 50.55 and Muller 50.8. So, yeah, close so far until we see a proper time from Gadget and Flappy. Gadget's also, unless you know, he has been driving consistently this season in VR. So he has a little bit less information on screen than some of the other drivers.
I must admit, Ivan's livery looks very similar to Gadget's.
Yeah, they're
particularly
teammates.
orange. They're teammates. That's probably why.
Team Motion Blur teammates.
Team Motion Blur. Gotcha.
So let's see what.
Is it a blur motion or a motion blur? Oh.
Motion Blur, I think.
Motion blur. Okay.
All right, let's see what Flappy can do. 49.6, putting him in P1.
Flappy puts him into first.
And Senna takes it back.
A new record.
And
Senna, oh dear, wow, Senna is clearly on fire today. 149.4. Wow. That's yeah, Senna is doing so well.
I didn't think the old Mercedes was capable of times like that.
I mean, let's face it, but he has. You've got to bear in mind there is the slip to deal with, and if you've got a constant slip for most of the straights, then clearly you will be taking advantage of that as much as you can. And he's got Gadget right in front of him. So incidentally, providing Gadget runs a very quick race, which he's done usually in most races, apart from this race, curiously enough. But needless to say, the slip will have a definite effect on how fast a racer turns the track.
Luco says that was a Murrayism if I ever heard one. This Williams is unique apart from the one behind, which is
if
identical.
ever I heard one. Yes. This Williams is unique apart from one behind, which is identical.
Alright, let's see if Flappy is able to punch it through. A 48.8 for Flappy.
The Flappy, yeah, very good. Very, very good.
No improvement for Muller as of yet. Gadget not able to break the 50s.
Yes, I'm quite frankly a little bit surprised about that. I was expecting him to get a 149 at least. But
from what I heard from Gadget, he's feeling a little bit under the weather after his last work travel, so he might have caught something, so he's not feeling 100% today, I know that. But
no, I can understand his travel issues, because obviously when you travel long distances or a long flight, you end up having either A, travel sickness, or B, jet lag, which is most of the time that I get that, and that's not very good, and that can really, really, really put you off your game, Kim.
So let's just hope he lasts the full 90 minutes today and doesn't pass out.
Well, time will be the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
Mark GT with a 50.2 in that NSX, not bad.
Very good. We got H-Boss with a 149.7, which is, you know, reasonable. It's certainly not a bad lap time, but clearly there are some of these guys that really are racing and know how to race.
Well, it isn't that big of a gap between him and Muller either, as we see Ivan now with a 49.5.
Right,
so,
right, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that is that's very good. But Flappy seems to be, quite frankly, running away with it. There's a surprise in brackets.
Almost a second and a half now in front of Senna. And he's got a best sector again, Flappy.
He certainly has. With only 6 laps gone, he seems to be on fire at the moment. So let's just see what happens here. What transpires.
Mr. Bottle, if you're still in chat, how long is the 90-minute enduro quali running again? Is it the same 20 minutes as the regular 60-minute races? I don't really remember. You seem to have a spreadsheet for all that. Or is it 15-minute quali? I've forgotten that a little bit. How long the quali usually is. And a 47.7 from Flappy. Further increasing his
47.7. That's absolutely tremendous, really.
Thank you, Bottle. 15 minutes quali. That's what we got. So that is about 4 minutes left. The quali.
Okay.
H-Boss now with a 49.3. And Senna takes back second place immediately with a 48.7.
Oh, wow, that is some racing. Clearly, Ivan goes into the pits, changes the old tyres, and let's see what happens here. I mean, he's got a bit of trouble with Grimlock. He's trying to obviously get close to Grim, but Grim seems to be sliding around a bit. So it's obviously going to be a little bit difficult for Ivan to pass Grim effectively without.
Yeah, it's a little bit choppy,
incurring...
but the connection is a lot better than what it used to be.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
But I've said it before on stream, and I'll say it again with you. I pity Grim for racing against the Tier 1 boys. Grim has said it to me as well, that he feels like he should race against Tier 2 drivers and not against these drivers, because he doesn't really stand a chance. And,
I mean, I can see that. I mean, as a regular Tier 2 driver in another league, I totally understand what Grim is saying. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the fact that if you're overwhelmed with clearly people that are faster than you, and you know it, and you know what's going to happen, it really isn't, you know, it kind of takes the fun out of the racing, which is a bit of a shame for Grim. And, you know, I can only say, I'm sorry, Grim, but you entered, you take the punishment.
Good luck, Cartman, in your race. I wish we had 2 lobbies in ADEC, but right now we just don't have the numbers for 2 lobbies, so
no,
it just is what it is.
It is what it is, absolutely. Yeah, correct. Yeah, thank you, Cartman. Thank you very much, Cartman. Switch to your race now. Okay, that is very good.
So we have under a minute left of this quali, and we have Senna in second, H-Boss in third, with Ivan now in fourth, and Muller in fifth. So let's see if they can do another banker.
Oh, you said banker, right? Okay, good.
Let's see if Flappy can do one more, or if he's done.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Flappy seems to be on fire at the moment. I mean, I keep on saying that, but don't get me wrong, he's a fast driver anyway, but to come 1 whole second in front of your nearest rival, i.e. second, is, you know, wow. Absolutely, wow.
You should have seen the Blue Moon race about, what was it, 3 weeks ago now? Or 3 races ago. Flappy had connection issues, and by the time the qualifying was over, he managed to come back in. I was the host of the lobby that day, and Flappy took the punishment, he took the penalty, he started from the back, and about 6 laps from the end, he managed to win. Because Jagnot managed to have an unfortunate meeting with Barry R and damaged his car.
Oh dear. So it really actually worked out so well for Flappy that day.
He had a last to first challenge, and he has checked that off his bucket list, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, fantastic. Well, I can do the last to first challenge and succeed, providing all the other drivers are totally blind.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that, you know.
All right. Flappy has gotten a few purple sectors here. Let's see if he can nail it as he jumps over the bollard there. That could damage his time. Maybe that was just a little bit of lag on my screen, but Flappy goes over the line. and no improvement.
And that is it for the quali.
Yeah, and now we'll have about 3 minutes of waiting time before the race starts. So get your drinks, go visit the loo, and yeah, we'll be back shortly. I'm definitely gonna get something to drink.
Me too.
All right, back in business. Okay. Oh, yeah, Gadget is afflicted by COVID and is racing in VR. Yeah, that's gonna put a strain on him. Don't sneeze. uh...
Okay, well, welcome to my stream. Yes, I forgot to stream just now. I forgot to take the mic off mute, but silly me. So anyway, welcome to Jammy Stream. Welcome, and this is ADEC 2023. Yes, I have not watched this for a long time. Recorded this for a long time. It's been an absolute age. However, I am here with my co-commentator, Mr. Camaro75. Yes.
Hello, Jammy Stream.
Absolutely. Hello, Jammy Stream. You see, a lot of people appreciate Jammy Stream, even though there are a lot of haters around. But you know what? Jammy Stream is the best. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Don't deny the truth.
All right.
So welcome. We're in for a good race, by the way. We're in for a good race.
We are about to get started now, so good luck, gentlemen, and have a good race. Let's hope it's a good and clean one. Turn 1 could be chaotic, but if everyone pays attention, it should be good.
pays attention? Who said that? I can't. What does pay attention mean? School was never my strong subject.
That is a very strange word to use. All right. 5 lights to go out, and we are underway with our final round.
We are underway. Let's go, baby. Come on.
And it's a very good start from Senna as he tries to dive into turn 1. That Mercedes will struggle a little bit, though, I think. No, he managed to get in front of Flappy. Wow.
Wow, Senna is on the ball tonight, I must admit, with the CLK.
Has the CLK been buffed or something? I don't remember it being this good.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I really don't know.
I remember when I was driving in an ADEC last, it wasn't that good off the start, but maybe Senna has discovered something that happened.
Maybe Flappy is suddenly not on his game.
Bottle confirms no buffs for the Mercedes, so must be Senna that started very efficiently here, as he's got a second gap to Flappy already.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
And
that's amazing. Well, Flappy seems to be on it at the moment, but he's staying cool in second. However, there does seem to be a gap opening up pretty quickly between second and third. Flappy and H-Boss.
We have Muller right on H-Boss's rear bumper.
And Ivan right behind Muller. So in fact, it's all to play for. Absolutely all to play for.
But we do see in the medium speed corners, that's where the Mercedes seems to struggle a little bit, because Flappy is not far behind, but on the straight, the Mercedes just, its power just punches the car forward, but he struggles a little bit through turn 1.
Oh, that was, oh dear. I mean, I must admit that some of the maneuvers done by some of these guys are, well, let's just put it this way, I wouldn't actually attempt some of these maneuvers done by these guys, because I'd end up on the grass. But then again, I know me.
You know your limits.
Oh, yeah, I know my limits, absolutely. My limits are tiny compared to these guys, so absolutely, these guys rock.
And we do have the other cat in the bag to watch out for, the heavy damage. Any contact will be highly damaging to the cars and how they drive, but for now it seems like Senna has it covered, while we take a quick look at Boss. He's being followed by Muller and Ivan, and Gadget is closing in a little bit. Mark GT on 7th, and we have Grim down in 8th.
In 7th. Sorry, Grim in 8th. Yeah. Sorry, yep.
Grim's just trying to keep up. You've done a 90-minute enduro, haven't you, in the past for ADEC?
Yes, I've done a few actually. Yes, I have. I didn't particularly enjoy it because basically half of it is to do with the track, obviously, and another part of it is being in the right league that you want to be in. Because if all fast guys decide they want to be in, the 90 minutes, and there's a couple of us League 2 or League 3 or Tier 2, Tier 3 guys thrown in there, then obviously it's going to be no surprise on what's going to happen.
Well, I have enjoyed the 90-minute enduros when I've done them. They take a lot more out of you. You get a lot more tired after the race, but they definitely are a lot more fun. It's yeah, it's not over as quick, but it definitely feels like time is just flying by whenever you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Even with the 90 minutes versus the 60 minutes, it just time flies.
Yes, it does. Especially when you're having fun. I know a saying like that. But as it goes, Ivan is taking up fourth, and actually he's quite comfortable in fourth. Whereas H-Boss is in front, yes, but there's a large 3.3 second gap between himself and Flappy. So with Flappy on the tail of Senna, how close can he get to Senna before he can actually overtake? Or is this the downfall of Flappy?
Who knows? We'll definitely see, but I think, well, we won't see the tire wear result just yet, but I think the Mercedes is a little bit nastier to its tires than the GTR, but that will be seen later. As we see, Ivan
at the moment,
now.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Ivan has captured third.
Yes, he has. Just in front of H-Boss. Thank you very much.
I think that happened in turn 1. Couldn't catch it on my replay cameras.
No, I didn't catch it either.
But we do have Muller very close to H-Boss now. And these two Audis do have a DRS system, which means they lower their wing to get some more speed.
Unfortunately, I have some lettering on when I hover over Muller. False starts will be penalised. Be sure to keep your foot on the brake until the race starts. Well, obviously the race has started, but the message hasn't gone away. Congratulations, PD, for being so efficient.
Yeah, on my screen I have please refuel remaining fuel laps. That is just something we can't remove until they pass the pit. But yeah, there are a few funny bugs in the game. As we see, Senna is still a second and a half in front of Flappy. So still managing to keep the flapjack behind them.
Yeah. Senna in the lead. He seems to be going around quite nicely. Flappy seems to be quite comfortable, just trailing Senna. Only about a second behind. So actually there's not a huge amount in it, providing he can just keep that distance or even closer would be absolutely ideal. However, Senna just needs to lose his game so Flappy can actually take over. No, did I just say that? Take over. Oh, Flappy will absolutely dominate. Well, come on, let's be honest.
Flappy has been very skillful with his strategies this season. Sometimes it's worked out for him. Others, it's not really been all that good for him. But yeah, I think that happens to every racer. So some races are good, some are bad.
Of course. But you got to bear in mind that some tracks favour other players or other racers' styles, driving styles. So we just got to see whether they like the track or not. That also adds to the factor of are they going to do well. But of course the driving style will ultimately say, you know what, you're better suited to this track than Flappy is, or otherwise.
And we have Muller now up into 4th place with H-Boss down to 5th, and Gadget chasing or trying to chase after H-Boss.
Well, I see Gadget. I mean, well, just looking at Gadget, he seems to be racing a pretty safe and, you know, just a reliable race, you know, all the way through, really. But occasionally, just occasionally, you need a bit of daredevil work. But
absolutely.
Can Gadget pull it out of the bag and say, you know what, I'm a daredevil too. I can actually win this race, or at least come second or third.
Well, one thing we know about Gadget is that his tire management is very good, one of the best on track, and he usually has a strategy he follows religiously, and
that is, don't crash. Yeah, absolutely, don't crash.
Yeah.
You know, you know what, I'd say that's a good driving strategy to live by. Do not crash. No. Crashing is not good. Just ask Haldare.
Grim has completely dropped off the field, but he's gonna just do his own race, survive, and get those points. At least there will be points for everyone tonight.
Yep, it certainly looks like it. Well, since there's eight contestants or 8 racers, what have you, it seems that a lot of people are actually struggling for position. However, they are quite comfortable where they are at present. So I can't see.
Oh, we have Flappy. He's right on Senna's heels.
Oh, I can see this. Oh dear, almost half a second. I mean, wow, this is tough stuff from Flappy, putting pressure on Senna, and he's very good at that. Incidentally, putting pressure on other racers.
Absolutely. But then again, the Achilles heel of the Mercedes is the corners. It will struggle a little bit more than the GT500, but top speed-wise, acceleration-wise, the Mercedes is a lot better. That's probably the only reason why Senna is able to hold Flappy off currently.
Yeah, that's correct. Flappy just did have a look around the inside there, but will he actually be able to take Senna on a corner? Because if he's going to take Senna, he's got to do it on a corner, because he clearly won't out-accelerate Senna.
No.
So Flappy's got to be smart about this. It really has. Well, Senna's just got to play it cool, run his own race, because at the moment it's just the two of them battling, with Ivan 8.5 seconds, 8.5 seconds behind.
And we have Muller closing in on Ivan as well. It looks like that DRS wing is working against the GT500 GTR.
Yeah, so sure does.
Maybe we can see Muller in the top 3 position tonight. That would be awesome. It's been a long time since Muller was on the top 3 steps.
Yes, I must admit, Muller does have his moments, but he certainly does have the speed when he's totally 100% focused, and that is fantastic. However, he is in an Audi, but the Audis aren't wonderful for handleability, I say, or handling. However, if you seem to be stuck to a car and you seem to like it, then absolutely 100% go for it. But Muller seems to be doing quite well, because he's stuck in fourth for a long time now. So actually, he's actually doing not too bad at all.
Well, we have at least the battle for third with Muller and Ivan. We have the battle for first with Flappy and Senna. H-Boss seems to be by his lonesome. Gadget a couple of seconds behind there. We have Mark GT a couple of seconds behind there. And Grim very far behind. So the two most interesting battles on track currently is 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep, that's right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Never mind about all the rest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, we'll
you
come
see
back.
what I have to put up with, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, absolutely. Shocking.
We'll at least
What
come back to
Shocking.
the others later. Anything can happen in this race. It's a very long way to go.
Oh, it's a bit of a slide from Senna, and Flappy takes a look around the outside. Is he going to take Senna on the outside? Oh, wow. Will he have the acceleration? No, I don't think so, because the Mercedes does that. If Senna can take the inside, which he does very sensibly, he can keep out Flappy and make sure he stays in second position.
Just punches the throttle through and manages to stay in front. We're going to take a quick look at that battle between them, if we got it on screen. Going down the hill. Oh, and yeah, Senna caught the gravel.
Yeah.
Grass gravel, and lost it a little bit, but managed to hold Flappy off. That could have been close. That could have been right into barrier and a lot of tears. But,
yeah,
Senna managed.
A lot of tears. Not just tier 1, but a lot of tears. Sad tears. Yes. Disappointed tears, but you know what? Senna's held it together. He is driving this straight line, so providing you can drive a straight line on the gravel, it won't affect the speed too much. However, it will have a bit of a wear on the tyres and create a little bit of slide, which isn't exactly what you want when you're doing competitive racing. I see Flappy, and he is just totally on Senna's tail. He has a look round on the left-hand side. Oh, trying to take it on the inside, but of course with the S-band,
on the outside.
Flappy will become on the outside. However, is Flappy in the lead? Oh, we don't know. These guys are neck and neck.
I think Flappy has it.
Flappy absolutely takes it on first position. Unbelievable. Wow, that was some racing, Kim.
What we have to pay attention to now is that Flappy's probably gonna try and run away with it a lot faster. As we know, the GT500 GTR is a lot quicker in the turns versus the Mercedes. The Mercedes has one thing good about it, and that is its speed. And there's nothing holding Flappy back right now, and he should be able to stretch out a big gap to Senna.
In fact, a gap has already begun to open. You know, around a second, 1.1 seconds already from Senna. So obviously Senna is obviously not doing his job very well, or Flappy is absolutely on fire and running away with it. What is it?
Well, as we can see on the rear tires of Flappy, he has cooked the rear tires a little bit more than Senna. Senna has a little bit more tire wear on the front tires, but it isn't much separating their tire wears. We have Ivan still in front of Muller. Muller has himself a half-second penalty. Definitely not going to help his gap up to Ivan. And the H-Boss is also 2.3 seconds behind Muller now. That's going to close in quite fast, that gap. But yeah, almost a 2-second gap now between Flappy and Senna. That is...
yeah, it's certainly getting a bit bigger, the gap between Flappy and Senna, that is for sure. And it looks like, just like Flappy prefers to be out in front by himself, and don't worry about me, I'll just win the race. That's his attitude, and you know what? If he can pull it off, fantastic. Good for him. But you know what? That's not me. That's not me, Kim. That's not me.
Best sector time for Flappy as well, so this could be a new fastest lap time. But then again, keep in mind, anything can happen. They could make a big mistake and end up in barrier. That will mean heavy damage for all the cars. They will have to limp back to the pit. So if they are on the start-finish straight or at the beginning of the lap, it's going to be a painful crawl back to the pits. So
yeah,
let's hope everyone
absolutely. Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant for anyone involved. You know, with that, it's just going to be a little bit harsher, I must admit. But apart from first and second, everyone seems to be around a 3-second gap between them. So, I would say everyone is racing their own race. However, no one is putting any pressure on anybody else. And now Flappy's in front. The pressure has gone from Flappy to actually take first, and now he's running away with it, with Senna in second, saying, what happened? What happened?
And as we can see now, I'm trying to look a little bit on tire wear, and Ivan has completely chewed his tires, more than any other driver so far. We do see a lot more tire wear on the rears of Muller, but Ivan is very consistent of tire wear all over the car. H-Boss is on mediums, that's why he's not as fast as Muller, but he's going for the longer stint. Gadget's soft tires, they look decent, way better than his teammate.
Yeah.
Mark GT on mediums as well in the NSX.
Well, I must admit, but he's on racing mediums rather than the racing softs, so there is a factor there.
Grim has almost chewed out his entire front left, so Grim is driving hard.
He is driving hard, indeed, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Seems to be a little bit of lag with Grim, but I'm sure it's not, that bad that the other drivers can't cope with it.
The net code has become a lot better, but there's still a little bit of ways to go, I would say. But it is a lot better than what it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still a way for the GT7 to actually become perfection, or what I would call perfection. However, they have made some major changes, which has fixed, and needless to say, which has fixed a lot of lag, and a lot of racing drivers say, thank you very much, PD, we love you for this, and it has helped us out tremendously. And it has affected so many drivers, and you know what? Fixing lag, so many drivers will appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning of GT7, it was just horrible. It was like they didn't test the multiplayer aspect of GT at all. It is the worst I've ever seen. But yeah, they've definitely improved on it. I used to remember Ivan was one of the more laggy ones, and he's looking extremely good right now. And I think he's on PS4, if I remember correctly. So the issue between the consoles is not really the issue this day. It's just more of the net code, as we see Muller is closing in a little bit on Ivan, but he is burning a lot of his rear tires. Maybe the DRS wing is quite harsh on the rears.
Yeah, I must admit that that Ivan certainly is burning down a lot of his tires, but incidentally they seem to be very equal, all four tires, which actually isn't that bad, providing it's all equal, as it were, or equal wear. But if you get one-sided wear, that's when it becomes especially difficult to actually control your car. probably why Ivan is actually holding out in position 3. However, he's kind of losing it behind Senna, being 12.6 seconds behind. But I'm sure he's going to try his darndest to actually catch up, do his thing, and try and get a top place. But with Senna and Flappy, it seems it's all about the pit change. It's all about a pit change. I can't stress that enough. Absolutely.
Well, I know from experience this season with Flappy, he tends to run one of the tires at least, usually in the front, down to full red, and then he usually stays out for at least 4 or maybe 5 laps at the absolute maximum, and then he goes in and tries to get as much time out as he can. But today I think the strategy might change a little bit, considering he's in front. And
yes, absolutely, yeah.
Senna isn't that far behind, but a 25-second pit stop with just tire change will still lose you a few positions and a bit of a gap out on track. But Flappy should be able to catch that up quite quickly when the pit stops starts coming in.
Yeah, it certainly should do well, providing he has a good pit stop, and if Flappy maybe overfills or misses a tyre change, who knows, quite frankly. Can't see it happening, but, you know, anything can happen when racing. So unpredictable.
Absolutely.
But if Senna can capitalise on any issue that a Flappy may have, then you know something, Senna may even win this race.
Yeah, anything can happen in this one. There's still an hour to go, and yeah, anything can happen. Predict the unpredictable.
Predict the unpredictable. Yes, exactly. A note to self: don't do that.
And another saying, shit can and will happen.
Yeah, it's very likely to. Very, very likely. But, yeah. That's just the way it is sometimes. You just got to make the best of it. And it looks like Senna is, seems to be catching, but at times only on the straights. But with the corners, with the skyline, it seems, you know, the GT500 R35 seems to be really running away with this race.
We have our first entry into the pits, which is Muller, so he's opted to go for an early pit stop, just
Muller.
28 minutes.
Wow.
That's going to put...
Obviously couldn't take any more. He's out on a racing softs, in fact, rather than a racing medium.
No,
so this actually should be quite interesting.
He did a full set of soft already, so...
oh yeah, I know that. I'm just comparing the two, rather than...
well,
yeah.
By the looks of it, H-Boss's tires are just... They don't look like they've worn a lot on 16 laps, so I think Boss is probably going to go for a very long run, and pit maybe around the 45-minute mark, maybe? I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, if I need luck, he could actually go in for around the 40-minute mark. I would put it as 42. Yeah.
Well, Senna and Flappy's tires are both still looking good. Senna has a little bit more front wear than the GTR, But
Ivan seriously needs his tyres changed.
yeah, it's about time for Ivan now. I'm thinking he's probably going to do a few more laps and then dive in.
Well, Grim has already been in the pits, and racing medium's on. So that's all good, but he doesn't seem to be putting any pressure on the rest of the guys. However, he does have some other guys behind him, which will want to pass him, and that can obviously have an effect or detrimental effect on the other drivers, and ultimately what their position will be at the end of the race.
And Grim is getting blue flags from Ivan, but he doesn't need to slow down just yet. Ivan isn't close enough.
No, not quite. Not quite. Maybe in a lap or so.
Depends on when Ivan decides to dive in to the pits.
Put on the pressure. Put on the pressure and see Grim fold.
Oh, Grim doesn't fold, trust me.
No, Grim doesn't fold. Oh, right, okay.
I've raced against Grim many a time, and being behind him is the worst thing ever, because he knows where to place his car, where you don't get past. As we see Flappy surprisingly in early. And
well,
same with
Senna and Flappy go into the pits. Wow, let's just see what happens here. Who is going to come out where?
Ivan remains out.
Both on racing softs, but will they come out? Yeah, Flappy's on racing softs, he's already out. And Senna comes out in third. Wowee.
Well,
he's out in third.
Too difficult.
So, a little mistake by Grim. It goes on this gravel, but needless to say, it actually gives Ivan a chance to actually have a smooth racing line.
So it's good for Grim. Difficult for Senna to get past.
Grim pulls away from Senna.
Wow, I didn't even see that on my camera. Grim just pulled off track a lot. So, Senna back in third. He's not going to struggle too much with Ivan, I think. But from what we've seen now, 30 minutes on soft, so I'm thinking 30 minutes remaining, we could see Flappy and Senna back into the pits. So maybe a two-stop for the top two.
Yeah, I would suggest a two-stop, personally. That's what I would say. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's no way, absolutely no way, that you can ever do a one-stop on this track.
Unless you go
90 minutes.
Unless you go hard and completely annihilate yourself on pace.
But yeah, oh, and you would, yeah, absolutely. But all the same, the tyres would be absolutely shredded with H-Boss, or Ivan, Ivan, what am I talking about? With Ivan going into the pit. And let's see what happens. I'm surprised he actually didn't go into the pit a lap earlier. But he's trying his best, obviously, to travel as far as you can on worn tyres, which can be a good strategy, or it can be a total disaster.
Well, considering the tire model that we have in GT these days, I do miss the tire model from GT Sport, where you went more or less halfway on the tires and they were cooked. Now you can basically drive on the red for a few laps and it won't hurt you that much. But
no, it won't affect the car greatly.
But you will notice to have less grip, but not as extreme as it was back in the GT Sport days.
No, that's right. Just don't go racing hard in the wet. That's all I can. That's all I can say.
But that is also another thing. We could possibly get some rain tonight, but I don't think it's been scheduled. But Nürburgring is a track that has rain on it, so it has to be remained to be seen.
Okay, well, if it has a possibility, really a possibility of actually having the rain, well, the fact is, will it rain? Will it rain?
Well,
or
anything can happen
absolutely.
with the anything can happen with the random weather setting that the lobbies are using
on ADEC.
So so it could happen, but we could see also completely nothing. So it
completely nothing. Well, that's pretty boring, isn't it? Completely.
Well, remains to be seen what happens as we see Ivan out. Gadgets is
Ivan
still staying
and
out.
Gadget teammates, one behind the other. Yep, absolutely.
I'm thinking Gadget's probably going to stay out for a few more laps and then
well, Gadget's tyres are pretty much worn with a bit of a slide there. Ivan, clearly taking advantage of that, of Gadget's tyre wear, and saying, okay, you can't make it, so I will. Mark GT, he is pretty much on the tail of Gadget, and with Gadget's tyre wear and the NSX tyre wear in comparison to Gadget's, I must admit that I will see Mark actually catching up Gadget pretty quickly.
Well, considering it's been 20 laps now, and we've raced for 36 minutes already, those tires of that NSX does not look bad at all, even though it is medium. I would have expected them to wear a lot faster or a lot more. And yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, that's right. But it's all about, the not just the tyre wear, but the tyre management from the driver. Oh, and Gadget almost drifts into Grim, but Grim pulls out of the way and says, I don't want any part of this. And now Mark GT is actually on the tail of Gadget. Is he going to pressure Gadget to making a mistake, or are Gadget's tyres just totally done?
Well, like you said earlier,
it seems Gadget is not pulling into the pit. He's not had enough. He's just going to say, nope, screw it, I don't care, I'm going to go for a one stop. But is what's going to happen? I don't know.
Well, like you said earlier, with the one stop looking at Mark GT, I think we could see a one stop from him tonight.
You know what? With the mediums, I can absolutely see it. With the softs, no. Quite frankly, no.
I'm thinking by the time he goes into the pits, if the tire wear is this low on the mediums compared to the other cars on track, I think we could see Mark GT doing a one stop and then swapping over to soft at the ending phases of the race. That could happen.
Yeah.
We do see H-Boss's tires. He's been on mediums now since the start, and they look a lot more worn than the Mark GT's tires.
Yeah, obviously it's a different vehicle, so you've got to take into account the actual weight distribution of the actual vehicle itself.
But Mark just on Gadget's rear bumper, his gearbox, his exhaust, trying to get past. Gadget is wisely defending into the chicane.
I can see Mark, I mean, he's really trying to actually pressure Gadget into making a mistake, but Gadget is holding firm even though his tyres are absolutely shot. And I don't understand how he's still racing. And he says, no, I'm not going into the pit, I'm just still racing on. And quite frankly, if I was Mark, I'd say, what the hell, Gadget? I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Mark is going on with racing mediums quite sensibly, because in a couple of laps I can see Gadget's tyres totally and 100% red. Well, it seems that Mark is less than a second behind Gadget, but it's the case of, will Gadget make a mistake with the slipping and the sliding, or will it just be good racing? That's what you got to think of, really.
Yeah.
Because Mark is pretty good at racing, but it's just a case of the tyre wear, tyre management, which we all know that Gadget is very good at. The actual tyre management and coping with worn tyres, which he's very good at. But can Mark GT wait for a mistake from Gadget, or will Gadget even make a mistake?
Well, we do know Gadget. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but they do happen on a rare occasion. But yeah, right now Gadget is pushing it with nearly all red tires. The only tire that has a lot of white line left to it is the right side front tire. So
is the front right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, he actually managed. I mean, it seems that he's okay, providing he doesn't slide. But he is racing quite well. Actually, very, very well. Better than I would be. And yeah, absolutely. It's all a matter of waiting for Gadget to make a mistake, and then
we have
going for it. Bye-bye, Gadget.
A question here from Luco. Luco here from Drivers Room Weekly. Rumors in the paddock show signs of slowing that. No sign of slowing that. Jammy is considering an ADEC entry soon. Care to comment, Jammy?
Yes, absolutely. I will comment about that. But thank you, Luco, for your question. Well, like I said in a press conference a few days ago to BBC, I will just say this. I have considered going back into ADEC. Yes, I have considered that. But is that a legitimate quote that I am actually joining ADEC? Quite frankly, no, it's not. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Luco, but I will not be joining ADEC at present. Maybe in the future, who knows? But right now, I don't think so. But thank you for your question. Any more questions? Keep them coming.
Good answer. And looks like
our readers will be disappointed. Well, you know something. It's not just the readers, because I don't want to be last, because there's only one tier with me in tier 1 effectively. I will be last and a laughing stock.
Well,
and you know what? I just don't want to be that man.
You could be racing with Grim. You could fight for last place.
Great. Just what I've always wanted.
Well, Gadget now. Rear tires are looking dangerously red. Yeah, he's not able to keep up the same pace as Mark. Mark is definitely pushing, but not able to actually get past. And yeah, Gadget is a skilled defender.
Mark makes a move on Gadget. Can he
the
take it?
outside.
And he has taken it on the inside. Wow,
Wow.
That move by Mark GT was, yeah, absolutely tops. Really, really good. Really, really good.
I think this should be the clue Gadget needs, and he should listen to the words box, box, box. I think it's
pits,
time.
pits. Hint, hint, hint.
Well,
Come
45
on, Gadget.
minutes.
Do yourself a favour, do your car a favour, do the team a favour. Just pit.
44 minutes driven.
And you know what?
45.
He listened to me because he's pitting.
Yeah. 44 minutes driven, and he finally dives in. So I think we might see a one-stopper from Gadget as well. But damn, those soft tires did last a hell of a long time.
They did, absolutely. But if I was Gadget personally, I'd be changing onto the mediums and going, no, but you know something? He's actually changed into the softs and said, you know what? I can do the 45 minutes again. I don't care.
Well, he has less fuel on the car, so it should wear and tear on the tires a lot less than a full tank of gas. So
yes.
So that should be positive at least.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Master Kim. Yeah, very good point. I see everybody's just taking things at their own pace at the moment. However, Muller does seem to be pressuring H-Boss right now. And will he take H-Boss on the inside? Oh dear, side by side, unbelievable. And will Muller take it? No, H-Boss is squeezing through. Oh, wow-wee. Now that is a challenge.
That was very tight, but Muller, being the experienced driver he is, he backed off through that chicane. He didn't have the correct line, but he is right up in the gearbox of H-Boss again. Well, close to.
Yeah. That should be interesting between H-Boss and Muller. They seem to be having some kind of battle here. But if Muller can find the correct maneuver at the correct point in time on the track, Muller will go right through, and H-Boss will be sitting there going, "What happened?
Well,
what happened?"
Oh, Muller got a wheel on the grass there, but manages to hold it. Muller's taking a few tighter lines than H-Boss.
It seems Muller is really pushing it, really pushing it. Right behind H-Boss now.
Probably not going to go
Looks
for
up
a
on the
move.
inside, decides not to take it. Nevertheless,
will he be brave and do it through the Schumacher
S? Schumacher S. No, he doesn't. No. Wow. Well, Muller sure is putting pressure on H-Boss. That's for sure. As we see from an onboard camera, we can see that Muller is trying his best to gain as much ground for H-Boss as possible.
We see H-Boss going in.
Goes into the pit.
Is this his first pit stop? I think this is H-Boss's first pit stop.
Yep, certainly is on mediums.
Muller will have to push now. Same with Ivan. I think Muller and Ivan might have another pit stop. But they'll have to try and get as much ground away from H-Boss as possible. "17 seconds up to Ivan from H-Boss now. He's gone on a new set of medium. I think he might have chosen the wrong set of tires, but We'll see how that goes.
Well, let's have a look at Mark GT. Well, obviously, he is running on worn tyres, so how many more laps can Mark do without actually bottling it and losing it totally and losing the position? I guess you've got to play it safe, and within, I mean, will he pit? I mean, it's likely that he should actually pit, realistically.
I'm thinking he will, but I'm thinking also maybe 10 more minutes and we might see a pit stop from Mark.
Yeah.
But 50 minutes on his first stint there, first set of the tires, it's that is insane. That is...
Yeah.
That is a long stint on one set of tires.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I think, you know, under the circumstances, he actually did make the correct choice, in my opinion, that he went out on mediums and actually he hasn't gone into the pit. So that's not actually that bad, and he's still going. So who knows whether he's going to pit or not. That's very unsure. However, Gadget behind him, yes, he's 18 seconds behind him, so not really an issue for Mark right now.
Well, I'm seeing, since we don't have access to the weather radar, I do see some dark clouds in the distance.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just overcast, but maybe we could get some wet weather.
Maybe we could get some wet weather, absolutely, yeah. Spot on. But there's a possibility of getting wet weather, but the fact is, will we? Will we get wet weather?
I don't see Flappy streaming, otherwise I would have tried to get some weather radar from him, but
yeah.
But yeah, on the last turn before the start-finish straight, yeah, there is. I can see some dark clouds in the distance from inside Mark GT's car, but yeah, it could be. Could also be passing clouds. You never know.
Yeah, you know what? It could well be passing clouds. But at the moment, it doesn't look like there's going to be a permanent rain, or certainly rain that will last a long time. So it should be okay for the drivers. So that, I mean, without the wet weather and the tyres that they're on at the moment, they shouldn't have a problem.
No. Could be that we could experience some light drizzle on track, but in that case it shouldn't be enough for the track to be slippery. So
light drizzle, welcome to the British summer.
Oh, wait, I think, oh no, Muller has been into barrier. I need to see if I can get that on replay.
Oh dear, he's injured the front quite severely, actually.
And what happens? Oh, he goes, oh!
And he decides, no, I'm gonna go for another lap, maybe two, with a broken front.
He went too far into the marbles, and unfortunately the car just sent him into the wall.
Oh dear.
That's how fast it happens.
That's not what we wanted.
Maybe he got a little too aggressive on the corner entry and, or exit. And that happened, as we
well,
say.
you know something, that has actually given H-Boss a pretty good opportunity here to actually catch up Muller.
And with H-Boss's tires, he's definitely not going into the pits again. So it's just going to be a one-stopper for him.
Sure is. Sure is. Yeah, there are people or drivers out here that have certainly, you know, contemplated the two-stop, but I think there are a few, I think two, just H-Boss and Gadget, that just seem to be doing the one-stop.
Yeah. And by the looks of it now, I think Ivan might be good towards the end. I mean, he did burn a lot of his tires in his first stint, but we do have 35 minutes left, and I think he might be able to continue on those tires, Ivan. But yeah, anything can happen. Could be that he needs to
indeed.
change.
Indeed. The only thing predictable about racing is expect the unpredictable.
And
expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
that's it.
And Mark GT now is closing to the 1 hour mark on those mediums, so he's made them last a long time, as we see Muller into the pits now to fix his damage and get a fresh set of tires.
Yeah, I think under the circumstances, I mean, it really had to be, because he was losing so much time with the front damage. Yeah, absolutely.
And, it probably affected his turn-in as well, with the splitter being broken. So.
Yeah. Well, with the splitter being, well, dare I say, split. But yes, now he's under pressure with Mark GT right on his tail. Mark clearly wants to get past and gain a place, and you know what? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Well, it's going to be difficult for Mark, considering his tires versus Muller's at the moment, but Mark has definitely been the most consistent today. Maybe not the fastest, but I would say the most consistent. Yeah, it doesn't seem
certainly
like
the most consistent on tire wear. It's been
yeah,
absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, almost an hour now, and he still has a lot of tires left. So I don't think he's done a step wrong all race.
No, it seems to be racing a pretty solid race, you know, all the way through, I would have said. But as we look through the crowd with Muller, he seems to be increasing the lead, or rather increasing the gap between himself and Mark. So that's all well and good. H-Boss is kind of in no man's land, really. With Ivan, yeah, the same, no man's land. It's just a case of, you know, who is going to finish first with the fastest lap. With Flappy and Senna, obviously, they were toe-to-toe, but it looks like there's a 15-second gap has occurred, and clearly, unless Flappy has a massive accident or disaster on track, then obviously Senna will remain in second position, with Ivan 31 seconds behind Senna.
It was an interesting start to the race with Flappy and Senna, but yeah, as soon as Flappy managed to get his car in front, he could open the tabs completely. He probably had to hold back a little bit behind Senna, so. But Senna's done a lot better than I anticipated on this track. that Mercedes is a difficult car to get through the tight turns, tight bends.
Yeah, it seems Gadget is plodding along quite nicely, but it's early days really for tyre wear. So all he's got to do is just carry on as he is, because he's already lapped Grimlock, so that's not a problem. With Mark, he's trying to close the gap on Mark, but with Mark having much more tyre wear than Gadget, and Gadget having better grip, obviously the gap will be coming down. But how soon will it be until Mark actually changes the tyres, or Gadget just slows down?
Well, Mark definitely has to go in soon, but when he does, he's going to lose the position to Gadget anyway.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But I don't think he's going to need more fuel as we see Senna into the pits.
Wow.
He's going to try and go for the fastest lap, possibly.
Yeah, it may happen. May happen. Senna in the pit and the CLK. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. Wouldn't mind one myself, you know.
I love the Mercedes generation with those what I like to call sausage headlights.
Right.
I don't know why, but I love that shape of front end for the Mercedes.
So you got a thing for sausages, have you? Right. Okay. Is that what you're saying here? Is that what you're saying?
No comment. You know, no comment.
Don't worry, you're in front of millions of people right now, but that's okay. If you got a thing for sausages, that's great.
At least not gentlemen sausages.
I never mentioned that at all. I just mentioned sausages. But
hey,
please,
hot dogs and wieners are good.
Hot dog sausages, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone likes a good sausage in their hot dog.
As we see Flappy now into the pits. So he's responding to Senna straight away.
Well, Flappy seems to be in the pit, but the amount of time that he's actually opened the gap between himself and Senna really shouldn't have any bearing on his race position.
No.
It was a quick change. I don't think he's even filled up at all.
No, I don't think he took on fuel. From the race brief, no fuel should be required if they do a little bit of fuel management in this race.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've used just over half a tank on just over an hour of racing, so I think they should be good towards the very end of the race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, it seems like everyone is okay for fuel, or certainly will manage until the end of the race, which essentially is actually what counts. Because the last thing you want to do, I've done it myself, is run out of fuel on the last lap.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling. Just for those who don't know, it's not a good feeling.
I've done that mistake myself, so I've done that a couple of times actually. I think once in ADEC and once or twice in the RSL. So.
Yeah.
I think I remember one incident. I don't remember the race of the car, but I think I'd been away from racing a little bit, and then suddenly the car slowed down. I couldn't understand why, and the others in the chat ask me, "Do you have any fuel?" Oh shit, I don't.
Yeah, and
I didn't pay
suddenly,
attention to the
do I
fuel
have any
gauge.
fuel? Oh, oh dear.
And I had over a lap to go back to the pits, and yeah, that was the end of my race. From top 4 to dead last. I don't remember what league that was in driver's room, but yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us have actually done that, run out of fuel on the very last lap, but that's for amateur drivers. Hello, yes, that's me, and I'm not ashamed. But however, for a lot of these drivers who have been racing so many times and so many seasons, it's just fantastic that they can keep on going. And what's more, for their tyre wear, for the tyre management, and for the fuel management, they can keep on top of it and race efficiently. Fantastic. Unlike me, by the way.
Ivan now is starting to get a lot of tyre wear. I think he might have to dip into the pits again.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ivan right now. In fact, it seems that he is having a few problems with trying to hold it on the track, because the car, naturally being the Skyline, has a lot of torque, but also wants to slide as well. So obviously he's gonna kind of have to deal with that factor that can actually keep him on the track.
And another thing he will have to take into consideration is this: H-Boss is 20.7 seconds behind him, and a pit stop takes about 23-25 seconds. So Ivan will have to consider this: does he go in before the end? And I opened my mouth too soon. He goes in.
Well, yeah.
He will lose the position to H-Boss.
Ivan is into the pit, and we will see. We will see. All right, we'll check this out, ladies and gents. It depends on if H-Boss will go into the pit, but he clearly won't, because he's on mediums and his tyre wear is, practically zero. How quick can Ivan's guys be?
Well, Ivan will be able to push it towards the very end now, and he comes out in front.
H-Boss is right behind, literally right behind. Wow, that was a pretty good stop, I must admit.
Well, Ivan can push towards the very end now. He doesn't have to take care of his tires at all. Boss will be able to push as well, but he's not going to have the same grip as Ivan. So the only thing that will separate these two and the position they're in is a potential visit to Barrier or the grass.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is correct, though. Yeah. Between H-Boss and Muller, obviously there seemed to be one whopping great gap. Mark GT, obviously he's racing his own race, fantastic. Gadget seems to have, not been doing so well. He's obviously changed his tyres, but he's obviously come out in 7th, because quite frankly, I think he really should have stopped before his tyres were almost all red. I think it was a bad strategy by Gadget. But what do you think, Kim?
Maybe, but right now it potentially will benefit Gadget in the end, because Gadget is closing in very fast on Mark. Mark should definitely be the one to go in now and put on a set of soft and just blast the throttle towards the very end. So but right now Mark GT is losing a lot of time to Gadget. with
Well, you got to
one
bear in
medium.
mind that Gadget is on the softs and Mark's on the mediums.
Yeah,
so
but the Mark GT's medium tires are also quite dead, as
well,
we see
needless
Mark
to say,
GT into the
Mark
pits.
goes in the pit. Yeah, there you go. That's said it, hasn't it?
But at least now Mark can punch the throttle to the very end. It shouldn't be a worry for him now. He can burn.
Is he gonna come out in the softs or mediums?
Let's see.
The key. Well, it's fresh softs. Wow.
So
Good.
now we can punch it.
Good strategy. But the fact is, you got to be fast enough to keep up with the fast guys.
And
if you're not, it doesn't matter what strategy you're on. If you're not fast enough, it'll be no good.
he has driven on one set of tires for 1 hour and 8 minutes. That is
Wow.
quite strong for Mark GT.
Wow.
So, yeah, so now
that is something, Kim. That is something.
He can definitely put up the pace now and see if he can catch up to Gadget. It's 13 seconds up to him, so he could potentially still fight for P6 in the last 20 minutes.
Well, Gadget does have racing softs on as well, and as we all know, Gadget is very, very let's just say extremely good at tyre management. So
he's a very good defender as well.
Catch Gadget up. It's one thing catching him up, but overtaking him entirely, that's a big ask before the race is actually over.
Yeah, I've been behind Gadget before. I've tried to overtake him many times, and let me tell you, Gadget knows exactly where to place his car, and you'll basically have to do a suicide maneuver to try and get past sometimes. But Gadget knows where to efficiently defend his line, knows where to efficiently place his car, and make it difficult for the guy behind. The guy behind really has to work for it to get the position.
Well, let's face it, Gadget has been racing on ADEC for quite a while now, so obviously he will know his way around ADEC. And being one of the founders and creators of ADEC itself, obviously he'll be no stranger to any of the leagues. Even I was in a league or a tier with Gadget once, because guess what? Right at the start, there was only one tier.
Yeah.
And Gadget was there. And as soon as tier 2 popped up, when there was too many people for just tier 1 of a 16-man room, obviously, within the next season or 2 seasons later, I was actually put into tier 2. But you know what? And I never raced against Gadget again, I don't think. and that was over 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, I remember when I first managed to get my butt into Tier 1 after, I think I had 1 season in Tier 2, got promoted to Tier 1, and I felt like I was driving a Fiat 500 next to NASCARs on track.
Yeah.
That's how fast the boys in Tier 1 was back in those days and how slow I was. But thanks to the Tier 1 guys and being in the Tier 1 lobby, I managed to get my speed up as well, so I've learned a lot from these guys and driving against all of you in driver's room. So
yeah, absolutely, me too. I can safely say, this has been certainly the most competitive and, what's more, the most professional group that I've been with. And that is the driver's room, and they are fantastic. They not only tend to your driving skill level, they don't criticise, and as a professional team, on the not only on the livery styles, but the more technical styles, but the more technical side, with Muller helping out with the more technical PC kind of style.
And Ivan now is he's managing to hold off H-Boss. Almost a 2-second gap between
Whoa! H-Boss has had a little wobble there. Must have lost him about a second and a half. Luco, no, I have not met Nessie. No, that's no.
You've
never met him.
You've met Gadget, right?
I have met Gadget. Yeah, in fact, incidentally, Gadget is the only person that I've actually met from driver's room. And no other person. Huh. Kind of crazy that, but as your question, no, I've never met Nessie. I feel he's just too up north for me, because he's very I don't know where he is. All I know is many miles. We're many miles apart. But thank you, Luco.
Mark GT is really making grounds on Gadget. He's closing in quite rapidly now. 8.2 seconds separating them.
Yeah, in fact, on Mark's screen, I can actually see on the onboard camera, I can actually see Gadget in the foreground, and we're only getting closer to Gadget. So within a lap and a half, we should see some very competitive action between these two. Waxing lyrical about drivers' room drivers, and you've forgotten about Nessie. Oh dear. You know what? Nessie, although he's a fantastic driver, and he's, needless to say, much better than I am, but he is a very good driver, and and he's a regular driver for the driver's room until recently, until he had to take a bit of time off, but he will be coming back to driver's room very soon.
Well, I think he is driving in the RFS. He's doing a few runs in DRTT, so
I haven't seen him in DRTT for, well, at least 6 weeks.
Well, he was in the DRTT race on Tuesday, so
right, that's probably why I wasn't there. because Nessie was there.
Well,
sorry, Nessie.
We had the classical purple, everyone loves to hear purple sector, and
of course.
I think it was Mung that said that, and then you just casually heard "F you, Mung."
Yeah, which is, let's face it, is only the natural reaction for Nessie to actually make on, well, not just Mung, but anybody else that goes against him.
And he has a wonderful
and Nessie, you are welcome.
He has a wonderful love-hate relationship with Cartman too.
Oh. Dude, he has a love-hate relationship with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Nothing personal. Is, okay, who's next? Right then. Such a nice guy, though.
5.5 seconds now between Mark GT and Gadget.
Yeah, that certainly is. And needless to say, he's already overtaken. He's about to overtake Gadget. But he has certainly got better tyre wear, that's for sure. So it's going to work on Mark's in Mark's favour, that is for sure. I can certainly see him overtaking Gadget in the next, what, 4 laps?
Maybe. Well,
But-
we do have about 11 minutes remaining, 10 and a half. So
Yeah.
he has that to do it in. Gadget
I
is
must
starting
admit,
to run his tires low, though.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight with these two. So Mark has obviously got to really, really, really push it.
Yeah, he can push it towards the very end now. He doesn't have to take care of his tires at all. But
No.
Gadget is definitely struggling. As we see, it's down to 2.9 seconds now between Gadget and Mark. And we do have Flapjack coming up behind Mark as well.
But incidentally, the only person that I've met for real in real life as such is actually Gadget. But I've met no other people from the driver's room, much to my disappointment, because everyone else hates me. But that's okay.
And the only person I've met from the driver's room so far is Low Power. So
Low Power, right, yeah.
Came by my town before him and his family went further in and up into Norway for a holiday.
Fantastic. Well, I've never been to Norway myself, but I hear the Norwegians rate it very well.
Yeah. We have beautiful nature. I'll give it that, but. Oh, as we see, Gadget has
a little
had
bit of a
spin.
mistake by Gadget. Oh dear. I'll tell you something. Gadget was absolutely superbly lucky not to severely hit anything. So actually now he is just rolling, but you know what? He's lost that position. Absolutely, he's gone. Lost that position, and he won't be catching Mark up either. Flappy is on such a roll that he's just lapped Gadget.
I'm taking a look now at what happened, and he had too much throttle out of turn 1 and spun it almost around, but managed to keep it on the black stuff, so no damage.
Yeah, he seems to be doing well in that respect, that he hasn't actually caused any damage or received any damage. But needless to say, he won't be catching Mark up.
Well, the only person I've seen so far today with damage on his car is Muller after his unfortunate meeting with the dirt, and it's sending him to a lovable barrier. But top 5 for Muller, I would say that is a good position anyway. He could have possibly contended for third, but you know, stuff happens. It's unpredictable.
Stuff does happen, indeed. Stuff. Yeah. Is Gadget fast enough to... I mean, he's really struggling with his tyres right now. And Mark is just saying, okay, I can see you're having problems. I'll just pull away randomly. Just, you know, just casually. Which essentially is what he's doing. Which is amazing. He's got Flappy behind him. So, in that case, Mark will, by the driver's room rules, he will have to pull over and actually let Flappy through, since he is being lapped.
But then again,
and has no advantage for holding up Flappy.
He doesn't need to let him through just yet either. He can just wait a little bit further until Flappy closes in.
Yeah, absolutely. There is such a distance that there should not be a problem with with the overtake right now, so that's all good.
Well, before coming into this season, Juggernaut was the defending champion. After the finish of this one, we will crown a new champion in Flappy. So he will be the defending champion going into season 3, I would imagine. So he's going to get a yellow doorboard number.
Not a yellow card.
The red card, you're out.
You are out.
Yeah, Flappy, after he got out in front, Senna hasn't been able to do anything about it.
It really was just a one-man race once Flappy got through. But Flappy and Senna were absolutely fantastic. Mark GT does the right thing, might I add, by pulling over and letting Flappy through. However, he did have to slow down, but, you know, hey.
Yeah.
But the point is, I can't see Gadget catching up Mark. So
no, I think Gadget's tires are just too worn now to do anything about Mark.
I mean, let's take a look in comparison. You've got Gadget's tires that are absolutely worn, and he's really struggling. You can see that, especially with the acceleration on the first turn, which actually made him, you know, actually lose his own position. With Mark's tires, they seem to be okay, a little bit worn, of course, but he doesn't seem to be having issues like Gadget does. If there are any more questions, Luco, please don't hesitate to ask. Who's live on chat? So, hi to Luco.
They're getting a little bit over.
Yeah, you know something, Luco. He's just commented about the rain. In fact, yes, it is a shame there's no rain. She commented, and in fact, she's just said it doesn't seem too common on random weather.
No.
I kind of agree. It's just it needs to be a bit more infrequent. You know, more broken up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I must admit, it's Luco's absolutely right. Bubo Luco. It's obviously the gap between Mark and Gadget. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And no sausages in sight, thank you very much. Which is a shame, because I could really do with a hot dog right now. Absolutely. Wow. Dear. But why am I talking about food? Hey, why am I talking about food?
Gonna make yourself hungry.
You know what? I do that all the time. Trust me, I do that all the time. It's like, yeah, I should really get some food. You know, 2 hours later. So Jammy, have you got yourself some food yet? No, I haven't. Yeah, well, it's called only got yourself to blame, which I clearly have. Hold my hands up. Yes, I am guilty. But yes, I will go hungry.
Well, Down to the last minute of the race now. And Flappy's dominated most of it.
Yeah, I must admit from lap 2 onwards, I'm pretty sure. Just have to have a replay later on to check that. But I'm pretty sure it was lap 2 that Flappy made his move on Senna.
No, it was past lap 10, I believe it was, somewhere.
No, get off.
Yeah, he didn't get past Senna in the first 10, 20 minutes.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Wow. Well.
But it's going to be another lap for Flappy, even though he's zigzagging.
Yeah, it is the final lap. So.
Senna's going to win the race. No, Gadget won the race. He entered first.
Gadget.
Senna second. Yeah.
Ivan coming across the line.
Yeah, Ivan is still a little bit away from the finish line, but who's that near the last turn? That is Grim. Grim has survived the 90 minutes.
Goes through.
Then we have Ivan.
Ivan will cross the line, flashing his lights. Well done, Ivan, in third position.
We have
very good.
Boss.
Excellent fuel management. Tire wear, very good. Did everything right there. H-Boss, you raced an amazing race. Absolutely great race for H-Boss, taking fourth. Muller, a little bit unlucky with the accidents early on, but he still takes fifth overall. With Mark just about to take the hairpin and to cross the line in sixth position. And Flappy does, yes, thank you, Flappy, it is on stream, buddy, it is on stream, but you know what, he won the race with time to spare, who cares? So, DRC Flappy wins the race.
Very good race there.
From pole position as well, fantastic.
And I think that is it. We can congratulate Flappy on the championship. I think the points between Cartman and Flappy are pretty much equal, but Flappy has dropped less bad races and bad points, so Flappy takes the championship. Yeah,
I agree. Fantastic race all around. Very good, and Flappy has done so well, and now he's so close to taking the entire championship.
Well,
fantastic.
he has. Take a look at the scoreboards here. The fastest lap, there's not much separating Flapjack and Senna. Of 148.236 and Senna's 148.247.
You know what? Yeah.
You don't get closer than that in fastest lap.
Yeah. You see that? Wow. 236.247. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. That's just that's just so close, isn't it? It really is so close, those guys. Yeah, for sure. But you know what? Flappy pulled it out of the bag when he needed to, and he pulled through and won. Congratulations, DRC Flappy. And that is all we have time for. So thank you for watching. You've been on Jammy stream and Mr. Kim's stream.
Yeah.
And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I can imagine that, H-Boss, it being a little bit lonely. Yeah, you should have put soft on the second stint, for sure. Yeah, that is that. I need to go and die. Please remember New Sports Guys by Saturday. Yeah, Gadget is recovering from apparently COVID, so yeah.
Yeah, that's not very good for anybody, quite frankly.
Let's hope he at least
all.
keeps his smell and taste buds. My father still hasn't gotten them back after a year since he has had COVID, so
Yeah.
every time I make food and he says, "Thank you, Kim, it was probably good." Can't taste it
Probably
anyway.
good, you say? Probably.
Yeah, he doesn't have any taste buds anymore.
Oh,
It was probably good.
just trust in my skill of cooking. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you should say, Kim, that was fantastic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to taste it. Just trust.
Well, he does, you know, he eats anything now. Just yeah, doesn't taste it anyway.
Fantastic. Gotta love it.
Well,
Gotta love it.
that is it for this stream. Yeah, it will be 2 weeks now until season 3, and that will be round 1 at Fuji in the Group 1 machines for season 3. So that will be 7th of what is it? September? Yeah, 7th of September.
It's got to be, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. 7th of September.
So, yeah. So yeah, that is it for the stream. I have been Kimaru, and I've had with me my good friend Jammy tonight. So yeah.
Thank you.
2 weeks until next time, and that's going to be interesting. See how the season will unfold for season 3.
Should be interesting. Should be interesting. Okay, bye, bye, guys. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Bye, bye.